Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Hazy here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to go to black-cat-comics.com, pick up something fun to read. This week is packed with stuff that's fun to read, lots and lots of great books to talk about. Few things from last week. We had a couple shortages last week, so this issue of The Avengers is maybe from last week, but is new to you if you're a regular here at Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. That guy, your King in Black Man-Thing book, and the latest issue of Amazing Spider-Man, one of my favorite Marvel books running right now. Maybe you picked those up last week. If you didn't, we've got them here for you. Good stuff. And Savage Avengers is my Avengers book for this week. Love, love, love me some Savage Avengers. Obviously, this one's got Spider-Man in it. And if you look real close, there's Conan on the cover. This book is a ton of fun because it's just a big mashup of characters who, frankly, probably have no business being Avengers, but they are, and they're taking on the dark side of the Marvel Universe. Been really great. Pick up this issue and see why I'm always talking about it. When you see how awesome this issue is, grab the 3 trade paperbacks and catch up to this number 20 because it's just a really, really fun book. Amazing Spider-Man Curse of the Man-Thing is your Spider-Man book for this week. Lots of Spidey stuff to talk about. This year is the 50th anniversary of the Man-Thing. As hard as that is for me to believe, and so they're doing all kinds of cool Man-Thing crossover books these days. Again, sort of the edgier side of the Marvel Universe. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, begins his own clone saga. Everybody loves clone sagas. If you're 100 years old like me, you remember the original one. If you're only about 75 years old, you remember the second controversial clone saga. And now Miles Morales gets one in this week's number 25. Everybody's already reading Miles Morales, so this book doesn't need a whole lot of help from me, but it's got that cool wraparound cover. If you've been away from the book, or if for some reason you haven't been reading Miles, this is your issue to jump in because it's awesome. And Silk number 2 rounds out your spider stuff for the week. Fun stuff there. New Mutants is one of your many X books for the week. Been encouraging you guys to find an X title like X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants, Marauders, or perhaps Cable, one of my favorite X characters. Or just pick up X-Men Legends number 3 and dive back into some of the classic eras of the X-Men. This one harkens back to some of the original X-Factor days. I'm a big fan of the original X-Factor stuff. Good times. Fantastic Four, another one of my favorite titles. Another book that's as good as it's been in a long, long time. If you aren't reading Fantastic Four, I encourage you to grab the last one because that was the King in Black one. Pick up this one to see why I'm always hyping it up. Or you're definitely going to want to grab the next one because that's the wedding of Dr. Doom and nothing more cool than that. Black Widow. This one might be flying under your radar, but this issue is all over the spec site, so finally Black Widow is going to get a little bit of attention this week. It's had great covers, great stories, great art. I always like when they give Black Widow her own series, because Marvel needs a little more espionage in their superhero stuff. Beta Ray Bill is your Thor book for the week. The first issue totally sold out and went to reprint. Everybody loves some Beta Ray Bill. Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. Cool stuff. I've been really digging these books. There's the Superman Red and Blue. There's the Wolverine one. Now they're doing a Carnage one. They're going to do a Wonder Woman one. Real quick, just to give you the gist, Black, White, and Blood, just like it says on the cover. I like this kind of stylized stuff. Makes good use of the art styles. And speaking of art styles, Marvel's number 1 from the brilliant mind of Kurt Busiek and the amazing paintbrush of Alex Ross. Put those two together and it always gets my $4. Great stuff, great stuff. Pretty small week for the DC guys, but it's always a big week for this guy. That's your latest issue of Detective Comics number 1035. Good stuff. 1034 sold out and went to reprint. Still got a couple more first prints on the site if you get there quick. I've been saying for quite a while that Detective is just as good as the core Batman title. If you're reading Batman and you're not reading Detective, you're missing out. Cool new villain on that one. Batman Superman number 17. One of my favorite books right now. Number 16 just blew me away. It was so much fun. Pick up number 16. Pick up this week's 17. This book is everything that it should be. I love when Superman and Batman team up, and I especially love it when they give them new villains and interesting things to do. This one mashes up all kinds of timelines and iconic stuff. Can't say enough about it. Like I say, pick up 16 if you missed it. Grab this week's 17. One of the most fun books they're doing right now. Batman Black and White. Again, another kind of cool stylized anthology by some of the top talent in comics. Different short stories, all of course done in black and white with your favorite Bat characters. And Robin gets a new number 1. Good to see Damian back in his own title. Cool stuff there. Harley Quinn, another book that doesn't need a whole lot of help from me. Everybody's already got Harley on their list. Superman Action Comics, my favorite DC titles. Easily my favorite DC character. You know I love me some Superman. This is the second issue following up from the Brian Michael Bendis stuff. Picks up with all the Superman War World stuff that was going on in Future State, which was really cool. If you let that get by you, pick up Future State Superman. Jump into this week's action. Good stuff. Teen Titans Academy and Ruby Justice League round out your DC stuff for the week. Like I say, not a huge week for those guys, but lots and lots of fun stuff. Critical Role and Cyberpunk are my Dark Horse books of the week. I like to show that Dark Horse has a huge range of stuff outside their licensed property stuff. They do these video game tie-in books. They have licensed creator-owned stuff. Everybody should have a Dark Horse book on their list. Spawn 317. The original is still the best. That's has been your main Image book for a long time, and it's about to get even bigger with the Spawn universe. A lot of talk about Spawn and McFarlane these days. I'm an old school Spawn fan, so I always like to show you guys that one when it rolls out. That's, like I said, one of your original Image hits. Department of Truth is one of your new Image hits. Image has a ton of great books, endless variety of genres and art styles and story types, and everybody should have an Image book on their list. If you're looking for something outside the mainstream stuff, like I say, Image has an endless list of things like Department of Truth or Two Moons, another book we've been talking up like crazy. Great stories, great art is what it's all about. Pick up the first couple issues, grab this week's number 3. You'll see why we're always talking up that one. Berserker is your Boom Studios book of the week and might be the overall book of the week as it is. You guys love your Keanu Reeves. Still got a couple first prints in number 1 if you might have let that get by you. Once and Future is your other Boom Studios book of the week. We love us some Once and Future around here. And Vampirella Purgatory flashes back to the 90s as your Dynamite book of the week. And speaking of 90s, Shadow Man is your Valiant book of the week. Super excited to see Shadow Man come back. Again, always encouraging folks to have a Valiant book on their list, like Shadow Man, like Exo, like Rai. They do all kinds of new modern versions of the classic Valiant stuff that you remember. And Shadow Man is really cool, really different, really unique from all the other kind of hero books out there. So check out some old school Shadow Man, check out some of the previous runs that the modern Valiant has done, or just jump into this new issue to see what that is all about. Love me some Shadow Man. And My Little Pony teaming up with the Transformers for the second time is your IDW book of the week. You guys love your ponies and your Transformers. Always talking up what a great job IDW does with, well, all their stuff really, but they're the masters of the 80s with Transformers and Turtles and all that good stuff. And I always mention that everybody has, all the different publishers have great all ages books. So if you got a younger reader in your life or you're looking for something a little less apocalyptic, you want to check out some My Little Pony teaming up with the Transformers. Last but definitely not least, this big guy is the Overstreet Grading Guide. So you might know the Overstreet Price Guide. Overstreet produces once a year the giant comic book Bible that lists every book and all their values and all that sort of thing. This is their grading guide, which doesn't come out very often, so came out this year, wanted to show it to you guys. This book answers many of the questions that I get all the time about, you know, how you assess the condition and quality of your book. It's all in here in the Overstreet Grading Guide. If you love the old books, if you are a collector of old books, new books, whatever it might be, pick yourself up a grading guide, read through this. Every hardcore comic fan should have a working knowledge of how grading works and how to grade their books. Don't take other people's word for it. Don't just accept the number that's tacked there on your CGC. Pick up a grading guide and read all about it. And that's my segue to mention Friday night, 6 o'clock. Facebook, YouTube, Kazi's Classics. Going to have an awesome show this week. We do it the last Friday of every month. This one's all first issues, all number one. So pick up that grading guide and then tune in Friday as we talk about some great, great old books from eras gone by. That's all we got for you for this week. Go to black-cat-comics.com, click on Shop, click on New This Week. Take a look at all the books we've been talking about. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Friday.